How I ended up at UCLA. You know, nothing was planned. I was walking in the hallway, hanging out. I think people were in class or something. I was hanging out with Oscar Foster, big basketball player, basketball star, and Mr. Weiss, Robert Weiss, Bob Weiss, my Spanish teacher. I took Spanish because I liked it and because I wanted to get better at Spanish and because I wanted to make my grades higher because I would probably most likely get an A, which I did with Bob Weiss, even though my early Spanish grades, Spanish 1 and 2, were a little crunchy, but at least I got a B or B minus because I didn't know the tenses, you know. I didn't know what they were named. It was very interesting. Well, Juan, what are you doing in the hall? Oh, I'm hanging out with Oscar Foster. Oscar, basketball. Okay. Well, have you applied to UCLA? You know, you have good grades, you know. I'm your counselor, after all. Wow, what's going on? They have the EOP full 4-year scholarship, Juan. And, you know, you qualify. Why don't you go to Mrs. Cunningham's office and fill out that application, send it in, okay? Okay, Mr. Weiss. So I went and filled it in. And bang, I got this big 4-pound envelope, look like a burrito. And I opened the mailbox. There's a big old burrito in there. God, what is this? A big old giant envelope. I ripped it open and I said, congratulations, Juan Felipe Herrera. You have received a full 4-year scholarship, equal opportunity grant, headed by Dr. Kenneth Washington in Washington, D.C. And it's for you. And please report to UCLA Administration Office August 16th. And enclosed you'll find a map, your dormitory information, and everything else you need to know. Please bring luggage. And then I showed it to my mom, and she was really excited about it. And not too long after that, I realized that I was never going to come back to that life, to that very close, intimate life with my mom, my mother. She also knew that was it. You know, that was it. I was going to go, move on, and take off. And she was going to move on too, back to San Francisco. That was it. But she didn't express that. You know, she was, okay, way to go. She wanted me to do that. She was held back as a young woman. She never wanted me to be held back at all. That's another big piece to my story. If she would have held back, even if she would have had all those riddles and rhymes, held me back, I wouldn't have moved. But she never held me back.